game, everyone. This is Rich Ramon, and you're listening to Still Toking With. Yeah.
Greetings, my friend. This is the brain of TV's Pinky in the Brain. Yes, and my human avatar, Maurice LaMarche.
Hi, it's Chris Poland, and you're listening to Still Toking With.
Hey, this is Eric Roland, voice of Kendo Rappa on My Hero Academia, and host of the Tough Love Podcast. You're listening to Still Toking With on the Dorkening Podcast Network.
My crew is ready to obtain the absolution, removing any doubt that we were ever fooling.
Wow, check out that new intro. It's like somebody knew what they were doing. Anyway, you know me, I'm the monkey.
That happens once in a while.
Hey, you know me. Anyway, Benjamin.
Yeah, you didn't hit the wrong buttons this time.
Yeah.
I mean, it only took you 5 seasons to get the buttons right.
I'll screw it up next week.
No, man, I'm really excited about tonight's show. We had this amazing gentleman on back in season 2. He joined us for our New Year's Eve special. But when you have over 200 acting credits, plus writer credits, plus producer credits, plus you become an author, and you're always that guy, you got to be on the show more than once. I mean, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna let Jeffrey bring the amazing guest in tonight, like he always does.
Jeffrey.
Hey, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, right? It must be, because you can see me. Yeah, I just want to get into. I missed that first show we had with our guest tonight.
Yeah, you had a concussion.
I had a concussion. But I did get to chat with him New Year's Eve, which was really, really cool. So let's just bring that guy in, Mr. Larry Hankin.
Wow, there I am. Hi. Whoa, that was unexpected.
Unexpected? You got to always expect the unexpected. You should know that.
Especially on this show.
Exactly.
You know?
So how you doing, Larry?
Well, it's a hard question. That's a hard question, man. I don't I'm doing okay. It's like postpartum. I just finished a book like yesterday, like last night.
Right.
So now I don't know what to do with myself. I have the time you spend with your book is an amazing amount of time. It's like months. I can go for like 4 or 5 hours of just writing. Sometimes I just lose myself. So now all that time is now freed up, and I got to like refill it. That's a hard thing to do. I understand what postpartum is now. You go through pregnancy, and then you have the kid, and then what do you do now? I mean, you got all this time and body left over, and
you got to start the sequel. Well, this guy, not that guy.
That takes a little time, man. Months, days,
actually,
years, hours.
Actually, the book that you just finished, that's not out yet, right?
Right. That's going to be
a new book.
That's a new book. So I've been writing for 2 years now, straight. Right. I mean, I think there was a month in between where I went through this with the other book when I finished it with that guy, and then there was like a month of I didn't know what the hell to do with myself, because all of a sudden I'm not writing and I'm not acting. What the hell is going on? So that's why it's hard for that to answer that question. How are you doing? I have no idea, man. I'm trying to learn the guitar. You see, I'm trying to learn the guitar. I'm trying to fill the time like this.
Right? oh, we're just filler now, guys.
I think I'll talk to Ben. That'll kill an hour.
Right?
But it's a problem, and I understand even like people who retire. I mean, I understand that now. What do you do with the time? You're all geared up for bookkeeping or putting out fires or digging ditches or doing radio shows or whatever, and then it's taken away.
Have you thought about blogging? I mean, you just finished the book. So
reading. I'm just starting to read, I think, is a good thing. I'm starting to read. I understand why people read books. Mm-hmm. They have nothing else to do. That's the reason. people.
Well, you
write.
just like a good story. I love to read.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that guy is a great story, and I thought it would be like an out of sight, bigger than The Godfather. That's what I thought, and it missed the mark a little. So
it takes a little time.
you're thinking, well, there's not enough people with nothing to do. I need more readers. I mean, it got pretty good reviews. It did pretty well, but I expected, to be living in a mansion right now.
Is it available in? Is it available in audio?
No, and that's I've been arguing with the publisher, and he won't do it. So I'm going to get another publisher.
Right.
Because he won't do it, and I have to pay for it. It's not cheap, and also it takes a lot of time. I mean, well, not as much time as it takes to write it, but to actually read it, you can't do it in one take. You got to go in for a couple of days, like once a week or something like that. So it takes a while to do that. And I did, I had to do, for that guy, I had to do a 10-minute hunk to sell it to the publisher. He wanted audio.
Right.
So I wanted to, like everybody thinks, well, I'll do it in my house, I'll just get in the bedroom and I'll do it. No, it's not that easy. It's because cars go by, people in the hallway, or somebody upstairs, or you just hear these noises that you just can't get rid of. So I finally had to do it in little, here's what I did. I did it from 3 to 4 in the morning. Oh. You figure, okay, nobody's around. And I only could do it for an hour, and then something would happen. So 3 to 4 a couple of times a week.
So here's a question for you. You're saying the little noises, is it because your microphone's picking up the noises, or
the microphones and just, even if you move it to this chair that I'm in now, which is a cool chair and I like it. I can't use this chair because there's little squeaks and it's on wheels. And so I have a lot of chairs. You got to pick the right chair. You got to pick the right room. Some people, recommended a closet, but that's too much trouble.
You're making it sound difficult just to read a book.
No, reading is the easiest thing. It's making the book or getting you to read it. That's the deal. But reading is, you just pick up a book and you start to, read words.
Well, the right microphone and the setup would totally solve that. Like the microphone I use, you got to be like,
he's the techie, the sound guy. That's that guy, right?
Yeah,
Leo.
That's that guy. Yeah.
Right, Leo.
Yeah,
Leo. Yeah. Oh, you just get another microphone, and it's really simple to do it in your home. It took me like a month to come up with a solution. And I talked to a lot of people. I mean, I said, look, I got to do it in my home. I can't afford to go. So, how do you, and I tried everything. I finally did it. I mean, I did it, but I did it in sections at 3 or 4 in the morning in my bedroom. And I had a little table. And I also sent away to, what do you call it? Amazon for a baffle. But one of those little portable ones. Yep. I got a baffle. I put a thing on. I put it under a cover. I did all those things, and finally I got it right. But it took me a while, man. And the stuff that you're probably talking about would cost me money. I might as well go and record it in the studio. But I did it. But I understand the whole thing about the audio. It's not, I'm just doing audio. No, it has to be really cool because people, want to, just.
Well, people want to hear quality, but it's a couple things. One, being your voice. People want to hear you.
Exactly. Do you know that if the author does the voice, it sells more books.
Oh, totally.
If it's just another person, but the author. Well, I understand that because when I started to read, my stuff that I wrote, I think I did 5, 3-minute things or something. I start to hear my voice and understand there's a lot to that too, like a radio voice. I mean, I was thinking back when I used to listen to radios and they used to have stories, Sky King and all those. that's a talent. You can't just open a mic and start reading something. It sounds like you open a mic and started reading something.
Mhm.
It doesn't sound right. And
Not
so
natural.
it said that's natural, right? So it took me. So once I got the sound and everything right, and the bedroom and the room, and then I had to practice. No, that doesn't sound good at all. It sounds like me reading it.
I hear that all the time in my bedroom.
Yeah. So I mean, so there's a thing to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you just say, somebody goes, hey, yeah, get that, or hey, do this, or yeah, right. Yeah, that's my new answer. Yeah, right.
So that's going to be the third book. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So do it this way, No, I don't like that. Do it another way. Change it. Yeah. So, well, this one's going to be called, I think about 25 names already for this new book. But I think I got it down to, I don't know, how's this? I'll test it out just as a name for a book. Love and Rants.
Okay.
You got love in there, you got rants, you can see the tension. Yeah. I don't know. So, but I've had a lot of, just Barnum's journal. I don't know, it's just 25. I'll let the publisher,
Well, once you,
what's it about?
It's just a story. It's a story about, well, here's the setup. The setup is a homeless guy and a girl who wants to, and a woman, a homeless guy and a female, male and a female, homeless and a female who wants to get married, but has a really nice apartment. And he just wants to stay single, but he needs love and shelter, and she wants to get married.
Okay.
And he's homeless, so he's a homeless guy. So what I did was because I'm kind of ADHD, So one of the things about ADHD is your subconscious mind is going all the time, man, faster than your conscious mind. So that's what the dissonance is. So I tried to write the book in that, or give the impression of the dissonance. So I divided his life into home and on the street. And he's sleeping in his car, he's sleeping in a tent, he's going around, he's panhandling. And then he has he gets beat up, because he's homeless in a gang, at night. So he stays at her house for 2 days to kind of recoup. And they both get an inkling of what it would be like living together, He loves it because he's injured and getting attention, and now she's got to be the nurse, and she don't like that. So there's always, I'm trying to get the daytime. He has nothing to do with the home and the girl. He's got to, get food and stuff like that and live on the street. And then when he goes there, he's got to be like a home guy. And she's a bartender at night, so she's got that going for her. Guys hitting on her all the time. And then she wants a nice, simple, staid home life, So they're always, that's the tension. And I love that. And I'm trying to capture that in the book. That's the difficulty, making it work. I mean, it sounds right to me as a writer, but making that work is really hard. I've been working on it for a couple of months. I think I got it down now. But that's kind of the book. But it's a fiction as opposed to a memoir. And the reason is very simple. Fiction sells way more than memoirs. Memoir, I think, is like 80-20. 80% fiction, 20% memoirs.
Wow.
So the memoirs, did okay. But the memoir sold okay for a memoir. It sold very good. But for, the big, and also I didn't know this until I wrote the first book. Women buy 80% of the books. That's a lot, man. 80. Well, you go on the beach. I live right on the beach here. and you go walking down the beach. Who's reading books? Women. They're reading them. And getting a tan and reading.
My wife a couple of years ago, she made a New Year's resolution that she wanted to read every day.
Yeah,
and
good.
She's stuck to it. It's I think she's about 3 years in now, and every single day, at night, she's always reading a chapter, and I think it's awesome. Huge insight.
Yeah, it's really good. Because I have this time now. I mean, for a couple of days now. By the way, I banged my hand.
Oh,
this is what happens now. I mean, it was just on an edge. In other words, a edge of a corner.
Yep.
Like right there. So that's But look what happens, man. I mean, it's nothing, but it looks like, oh my God, man, it looks like a tattoo or something. This is what you see when you get in the, that big space telescope up there.
Hubble,
the one that can see the furthest.
Right.
The Hubble.
Okay, so last night I was watching, like Nova, and so this is the furthest thing that's ever been seen. To the edge of the universe. We took a photo of it, and all it is, like everything else, looks like a galaxy or a star or a pinpoint. But the only thing way the hell out there, looks exactly like that. That's all it looked like.
It's a sign.
It's a sign.
It's a sign.
I'm an alien.
Or just out in space.
Oh, just spaced, period. But no, call home. If I press this, I get a signal.
Maybe it's a sign we're all living in Larry. Like the whole universe is like Larry.
There's another book right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Kurt Vonnegut. Okay, has anybody read? I see. All of a sudden, I've read like 8 books in like 2 days because I'm a writer now. I mean, I haven't read in like 20 years. And then I got to write. So I read Slaughterhouse 5, and he's into that. I mean, it's about him in the army, and it's really cool. I would recommend that to anybody. It's a great book. But he keeps on going in and out of either he's wounded or they give him drugs while he's in the hospital, or he's knocked out by being captured and they beat him up. So whenever he goes unconscious, he goes to 2 places. Either he trips back to when he first got married, when he was younger. Or he goes to 300 million miles into space and he talks to aliens. And then he comes back and he finds out he's in a prison camp in Germany, in Dresden, as a matter of fact. He was there during the bombing. Wow. When they bombed, they missed him. Really, he was just, they had taken him down. He was a prisoner. And they had taken him down into a cellar, a really deep cellar. And just because they had no other place to keep 10 people. They put him down there. And then the bombs started to drop and they, leveled Dresden. And they had to dig their way out. And when they got up, they just knew they were bombing, but they didn't know what was going on. I mean, really. And when they got out, his description is really great because all of a sudden you can imagine it was just fucking flat rubble as far as the eye could see. And he left. Dresden was supposed to be, back in the day, it was supposed to be like a glamour city, like Paris. Mm. It was like the most beautiful city in Europe, theoretically.
Right.
And it was just, so that's what he saw. He was, as they're marching him, he's captured, he's, bare feet. They've been marching for days. I mean, they're just exhausted. And then they're marching through the streets of Dresden before the bombing. And he's describing it as beautiful. And, the guy in front of him is dying, and so it's a great book. Anyway, Kurt Vonnegut writes about, out there, and it works. In other words, he's a prisoner and he's talking about aliens, and you believe both. You go, yeah, I get it. It's fine. So that's what I was kind of trying to do, take two different things and put them together and see if they could work it out. Okay, so that's about that. But that's not that guy. That guy is a whole different thing.
And I'm pretty sure we have a picture of the book, that guy, Leo.
He's got it right there.
He's got the book right there.
Hey, weird, man. There it is.
And there it is.
There it is. Okay. So it's got pretty good reviews and everything like that. And it's about my life in show business. It's kind of cool. I read it recently.
So one of the reviewers calls you a real life Forrest Gump. No.
Well, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking. Exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, involving,
you just go along with him, and his world changes, and because of his mind, he can go along with it, but nobody else would be able to. It's the same thing with Kurt Vonnegut and my book. It just jumps from you're homeless, you're living in a home. You're homeless, you're living in a home. You're in a bar, you're a bartendress. Guys are hitting on you. You're begging on the street. Let's see if they can. It's you need a challenge. I guess maybe I do. I got to make it work. I want to get two things and make it work. Because all my friends say the first time somebody read it, the second one, the one I love and rants. Somebody said, you've written 3 books. The only person who's read it, which was the typist. She said, it's really great, but it's 3 great books. I go, what do you mean? Well, one, it's about, boy, girl meeting and trying to get along. And one is about being homeless. And the other is about, he's the guy, homeless. He's fascinated with anthropology. He loves to talk about. It's an escape mechanism, really. He's talking about Cro-Magnon man, and back in the day. He's always referring to back in the day, how it was when you could sleep anywhere. You can't sleep anywhere today. No. Oh, back in the Cro-Magnon days, I could sleep anywhere. It's just crazy guy. Shit. So and then that's his third world. This Homo erectus, Homo sapiens. He's into Okay, so so I just read it. I'm reading 2 books, both of which I wrote. One is out there and on sale. It's on Amazon. That guy. And this other one I have to read to correct it because I got to send it to a publisher. It's got to be totally cool. Do you know how many books are published every day, and how many? I mean, it's in the millions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So to get
it has to be unique.
Boy, does it, and good, and well liked and well reviewed. I mean, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's
not easy.
It's harder, I think, than getting an agent as an actor back in the day. And this is 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Nowadays, I wouldn't even know. Kids come up to me all the time and they go, "Hey, I want to get an agent. How do you do that?" Man, I don't know. I was before digital, and now it's all. In other words, I had to go to the valley to audition, and I live on the other side of the mountain, on a hill, the Hollywood Hills. So it's like an hour, 45 minutes to go out there to audition. Now, you can do it on your cell phone. You just send it in.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. They send you the words and you blah, 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 and boom. I do a lot of, so I don't know how that works. I don't know how I would go in and talk to an agent, and tell them, "Hey, I'm good. Get me," really. But now you got to fill out forms. To sell my book, this new book, because I didn't know how to do it with that guy. That was like a hunt and peck thing. I mean, I just asking around and sending things out. It's really hard. Now, because of this new one, I found this great publisher, our agent. Her name is Karen Gantz, but she's like huge, like CAA, like a huge acting agency. But to get to see her, you have to fill out a form that you download from the internet, and it took me a month to fill it out. A month, and it only came to two pages, 1 page each. This is for this kind of thing, and this is for the book. One is about you, and one is about the book. And you send it in, and then if they like it, then they say send the manuscript. So it took me a month to just write those 2 pages just from the instructions on their internet, on their website. It's totally different. I would just go in and talk to the agent, and but here's how I got an agent after it was all said and done. The first time I got an agent, which is the first agent I ever got, a guy just came up to me. I was doing stand-up, in the Village, Greenwich Village Coffee House and stuff like that. And I come off the stage, and I happen to do a good set, which is kind of rare. It's a hit and miss in coffee houses. But I did a good set. And there's this guy in a suit, and a very nice man, a gentleman. And he said, and that was very good. I said, oh, thank you very much. He said, do you have an agent? No. Do you want one? Yeah. How about me? Okay.
Done.
And he said, if anybody asks you, my name is Jack Rollins, you have an agent. Okay. Now, here's the cool thing about it. Everybody now you know, even just through newspapers and the air, about Greenwich Village in the 60s. It was a hotbed of everybody who's famous now, or even was and is dead already from an overdose or whatever. They were all there in Greenwich Village, and nobody in Greenwich Village. I'm talking about Dylan. I'm talking about Peter, Paul, and Mary. I'm talking about the Kingston Trio. I'm talking about all these people were there in the Village, totally unknown, young, totally unknown. And me. And okay, so what they wanted was not fame or not money. What they wanted, all of us, representation. That was the only way you get out of the Village, to have representation. Wow. Well, this guy comes up and says, you want an agent? I go, yeah, okay. How about me? Yes, boom. My name's Jack Rollins. You tell him Jack Rollins is your agent. I'll come in and check on you every once in a while. And he did, and he started booking me around, and that's how I got into show business, and boom, boom. So I had bragging rights in Greenwich Village. I mean, for no reason except I got a guy, an agent. So that night, after, leaving him, it was about midnight around when I got off the stage. And you go to a bar, and we were talking, all the people, blah, blah, blah. And he said, Hankin, what's up with you? And you go around the table. And I said, why? Guess what? I got an agent. Really? Hankin got an agent. Wow, that's really cool. So they said, who is it? And I said, I don't know. He said, well, what's his name? You don't even know his name. Oh, yeah, Jack Rollins. Jack Rollins. Yeah. Jack Rollins is Woody Allen's manager. Wow, man, I hit the jackpot. And right from there on, he started booking me I would be opening for Woody. And, and I was going around the United States opening for Woody. And then a weird thing happened. I was getting not as big a laugh as Woody, because Woody was a couple of years ahead of me. He was like 2 years, advanced in comedy. So he was known, and he would get a packed house every night. And I would open for him, and I'd get my laughs, okay. And he would kill. And then here's what started to happen. As we started to travel around, his laughs started to get bigger, and my laughs started to get worse. For the same material I had been doing, both of us, just like that. And I'm going, what's going on? And I found out, Woody's audience is not my audience. There's audiences, and you have to find your own audience. Oh, another fucking ladder I got to call. Now I got to find my audience. Okay, so Woody isn't my. So he says, "Yeah, you got to go out on your own now. I'm going to start booking you with other people. You know, it's Woody is on his own thing, and you're on your own." Okay, so then it was hit and miss. You know, I'd open for Ian and Sylvia, great. I'd open for Miles Davis, great. I'd open for the Kingston Trio, in the toilet. And then I was, watching Pryor and Carlin, and I was listening to Lenny Bruce, and that's where I was going, which is not where Woody was going. He was going to White Bread. And so what was happening was, I would open for this and yay, and then I'd open for that and boo, and it was boom, up and down. And I'm going, no, basically what it is, you got to get your own audience, and then you got to star and have just your audience come to you, and that's how you fill an arena. So, but that was just like another ladder. Not only do you have to, it's not Woody, now it's, it keeps on just going like that. And so that's why I called and I said to Jack, I said, look, Jack, I can't do this anymore. I mean, you say find your audience, but I haven't hit a star that had my audience. So they would always come to me, And so he said, join Second City. They're doing the same thing as Pryor and Carlin and Lenny, but they own the theater. So that's what I did. I auditioned, and that's how I got into acting. Then I was we went to San Francisco, opened our own company. And then, which is another weird thing, we would fly down to Hollywood because it's just $35 round trip in the 60s. So fly down there and audition for them. But if we didn't go down there and because they wouldn't see you, nobody would come to see you. Or to have you go to see them. Who? Larry Hankin, never heard of him. No, I don't want to see him. Boom. That was it. So it was very difficult. But they would fly up to see a hit show called The Committee, which I was in. And they would hire us just by seeing us on the stage. So down there, we were nobody. But out of Hollywood, we were big. We were big in San Francisco. And that's how I got an agent in Hollywood. Laverne and Shirley. Yep. Penny Marshall. Penny Marshall came to a show up in San Francisco, saw me in the show and said, get him down here. I'm doing a dance thing. Laverne and Shirley are going to their prom. I need somebody to dance with. He's a physical comedian. So I went down there. An agent saw me, and boom. Here I am talking to you guys.
Right.
I mean, it worked. Right. So I mean, that's, in other words, each time, I think it's me, not the sphere. I think I just get bored real quick. So, I was a stand-up comedian, and then I used that as an excuse. What? Somebody say something?
Oh, sorry, I had to add.
No, yeah. Each time I would change jobs. I would change talents. Mm-hmm. I would go with Woody, and then I would be watching Richie Pryor, and that wasn't Woody's audience. So I'd go there, and then it wasn't Kingston Trio's audience. So I'd go to improv, and then I would go to San Francisco, and then I'd be an actor, and and now I'm a writer. I think it's me. I just get bored, I don't know.
I think it's just you're well versed.
Well, but that's a curse, man. As I said in somewhere, intelligence is intelligence has its flaws. I mean, if you're intelligent, there's certain things you can't do because people don't like you. or you're not in the, or they're not your audience, or whatever. It's and I think that's what life is, and I never got used to it. I was brought up in a very self-protected I didn't know anything about the 60s. In the 60s, I knew nothing about the 60s. It never occurred to me. Folk singing, I didn't know what. I lived in a very, not a religious house, but that kind of thing where where it was just
sheltered.
Sheltered, exactly, sheltered.
Yeah.
My parents would only buy things to impress their friends when they came over to our house. So they would buy, these a shelf worth of books that were all had the same cover, like great authors, all the books of great authors, or the Encyclopedia Britannica. So nothing that, not a single book, but like a set of books, a set of encyclopedias, a set of rules. I don't know. So I would just read pages. I'd open an encyclopedia and I'd read a paragraph, and then I'd go. And then I'd read a great book, Don Quixote. I'd read 2 pages, and then I'd read. So I thought the world is like that. Oh, it's just, you don't need to study anything. You don't need to see the end of anything. If you just read a page, you got it. And that's what I thought. I really did. Like Slaughterhouse-Five. All I had to do was just turn to the middle of the book, read 2 pages. Yeah, it's a great book. Yeah. Great book. You should read it.
Well, at least you didn't just go to the end.
Well, yeah, I would never. That's exactly. No, I never read the end because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to spoil it if I did read the whole thing. I was saving time.
I was saving time.
Yeah, I would only read 2 pages, but not the last page, that saved the time. Yeah, as opposed to reading the whole book. Yeah, you have no idea, and maybe you do have an idea of my real life, not my acting life or show business. It was just so out of whack with what was going on. Well, I'm ADHD. I think that was
Right.
But I'm serious ADHD. But you work workarounds is what they call it. You just figure out how to do it, and it seems to work. Every once in a while, it doesn't. But what the heck? It's hard for learning words, being an actor.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
Trying to just memorize. Oh man, that was the worst. Because the more popular I got, the bigger the parts, the more words they give you. That's crazy. It's to me, it's stupid. In other words, you write a screenplay, it's just words. And the lead actor gets the most words. I'm telling you, the lead actor gets the most scenes and the most words. That's all I know about show business. Well, I got ADHD and a little, dyslexia mixed in there. So sometimes they would give me like a co-starring role or, big role. And I'd have to turn it down, man. Here's the reality. I had a standing thing with my agent and the producers of things that they hired me for, that Larry Hankin had to get his part first, or when the first people got there, like the producers, when they got the final script, I had to get the script to give me lag time to learn my lines. Now, I didn't tell him that. It was just a rule. Larry has to get the book first, or one of the first, when it first comes out. If they asked, I would tell them, I need the lag time. It's hard for me to remember lines. Okay. But then the parts got so big that there was not enough lag time. I would have to get the part before the guy finished writing it. And that didn't work,
Right.
So I kind of dropped out, and then I started writing my own stuff and writing my own movies, because I find I could memorize my writing easier than memorizing other people's writing. So, so I think writing books is where I really belong. Because, you're sitting at home, you can take your time, you can, talk to you guys, get some information,
Right.
It took you long enough to figure that out, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, I'm a slow learner. I mean, once I get it, I'm cool. Once I get it, I'm cool. But he says, I mean, there's one of these lines one of the characters says in something I wrote where he goes, well, yeah, I understand that. I'm intelligent. And I said, that's nothing to brag about, frankly. So that's the way I kind of think of myself as intelligent. It's, it's got its drawbacks. It's not all hunky-dory. I don't know.
Well, I can be scatterbrained like that too. Sometimes I can't focus long enough on something that I need to.
Exactly.
Focus on,
but that's my life thing. Exactly. But I see that really successful people, billionaires, Donald Trump. I tell you, Donald Trump, I think he's intelligent. Yeah. But he just uses it wrong. I mean, it's just weird what he does with his mind. I think, thank you, Ben. I think that he probably has ADHD. He doesn't really focus on what's going on in front of him. He takes it to another place, and I think all the what is it, what's that religious group that's that's MAGA, Angelicans or something like that, right? So
I haven't heard that one.
Excuse me?
Haven't heard that one.
No, and there's all the MAGA people who are for Trump belong to most of them belong to the same religious group, a well-known one. It's not like a secret cult or anything. It's like a Catholic or blah blah blah. And I consider Donald Trump the first AI politician ever. I think he looks at things the way AI looks at it. Everything is simply information. That's all. Like, for instance, AI works if you understand that it only recognizes information. It doesn't have any feelings or conscience. It's just information. So the way to get any information from AI is to ask it questions. That's how you do it. You don't type in formulas or anything like that. You can't figure that out. But if you say, how do you stop global warming? That it can answer that. It can figure it out. It makes sense out of that. How do you stop global warming? It just figures it out and gives you the right answer, not the cool answer. But the right answer is get rid of human beings, which is the right answer. If you make us disappear, global warming stops.
I disagree.
Well, you're full of shit.
I disagree. I can disagree.
Disagree all you want. Go.
I believe, if you really want to know my personal opinion on it.
I do.
Okay. I believe that the global warming is just the natural cycle of the planet. And it's not coming from out here. It's coming from inside the core. The planet is warming from inside, not outside.
Okay.
That's my belief.
Yeah, fine. I'm not even going to argue with you. It's fine. But that is the answer. That's what AI comes up with. Okay, fine. AI came up with that. Or let me even give you more. Somebody told me that's what AI said. So I can't even guarantee that what I'm talking about right now is right. I can't even say that.
Leo's already Googling it.
No, I'll just log into AI.
Yeah, well, whatever. But okay. So, but that's what I think. That's what I think, and that's what you think. So it's fine. That's cool with me. But I think that Donald Trump thinks the way AI thinks. In other words, he thinks in facts and information, not in feelings or conscience. That's in other words, that's where I was going with it. Not that I want to argue about AI.
Yeah,
no.
no.
I don't care about that.
You know, what's your? Do you think AI is a good thing?
I think it's like a knife or a gun. You know, I can stab you or I can carve some meat.
It all depends on the
user.
user.
You or go hunt a deer.
Right. Depends on how it's used. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think AI is as dangerous as both of those, but I use a knife, and I used to be on the rifle team in high school, so I've used a gun. So, but I think AI is dangerous, but I also think TNT is dangerous, but we use it.
Right.
I mean, so I can't argue the point. I can just talk about it.
Well, that's what, and it needs more discussing, actually.
Lots of stuff. But I'm way behind anyway, because I was born when there was black and white television. So, I mean, the internet confuses me. So I mean, that's the future. Now, here's another thing. Maybe somebody has a comment. I think the only reality right now, this second, is the future. Cogito ergo sum is bullshit now. I think therefore I am. I mean, I think that applied before digital. I think now, some ego sum is right. I am because I am. That's all. Because I think therefore I am, I think doesn't work, because if there's no human beings, what is the universe doing? It exists and it doesn't think. So cogito ergo sum is bullshit. I think therefore I am. I think therefore I am. I'm real. If there's no I am, the universe is still there. Or is it?
Well, that's totally to go off on a tangent here. That's actually one of the theories with the double slit experiment.
Right now you're saying tangent. Now, how long have we been talking?
I mean, based on what you said, that's actually one of the theories with like the double slit experiment. Yeah. Are you familiar with the double slit experiment?
No, let's hear it. I'm
tired. So essentially what they have is a beam of particles. And
right. It can be in two different places at the same time.
Yeah, based on if it's being looked at or not.
Right.
And one of the theories is that we create reality by looking at it. So like in a video game, when you move around, it draws, where you're supposed to be able to see. One of the theories is, we create the universe as we look at it.
Right.
Just like the Matrix.
It's like anything else, man. Yeah. These are discussion points, because even his point is the theory. It's a theory.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a theory. My theory. Your theory. Ben's theory. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's as far as I can. There's nothing now I can say for sure anymore. I mean, back in the 60s, we all had it figured out. There was like black and white.
There's one thing I can say for sure.
Okay.
That everybody watching this show should go out and buy that guy.
Oh, yeah. Right.
When you can find that information in the show notes up above or down below. I was going to mention that like 50 minutes ago, but but Larry went off on a tangent.
I just wanted to read this review, which I mentioned earlier about somebody mentioned your real life Forrest Gump. Which I totally find fascinating, is they reference Forrest Gump because your stories involving people like John F. Kennedy, Bob Dylan, Steve Martin, John Kennedy, Clint Eastwood, Bryan Cranston, Woody Allen, Miles Davis, Lucille Ball, John Huston, Adam Sandler, and the list goes on. This person named Kyle gave you a 5 stars on Amazon. You got a ton of 5-star ratings. So
really, how did you find that out?
On Amazon.
How did you do that? I don't know how to do that.
You just go to find your book on Amazon.
Okay, I'll do that. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
And it's kind of like Googling yourself.
Yeah.
But when I go on, and I've done that, and to see what my rating is 4.3 out of 5, which is very high. That means I've got a lot of stars. Yeah. But it didn't mention who gave it to me or how many stars I got.
Oh yeah, you'll see a link for reviews.
Yeah,
there'll be another link right there for reviews.
Yeah, so here's your book, and then if you scroll, so you have your reviews, and if you scroll down, it'll go over your customer reviews.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I never scrolled down. I just read. Wow, look at all those 5 stars.
That's what
fascinating. Great read. Oh my God, I'm really good. I'm a good writer.
And that's your reality.
That's my reality.
That's funny.
That's really weird. I never knew that. Okay, great. Thank you for that.
But like I mentioned, you can find all that information in the show notes up above, down below.
Oh, okay. And on this show, yeah. Cool. Right. Well, okay. I've done my part now.
And your book's available in paperback and hardcover.
It is? Which one? That guy? Paperback?
Yep.
How much is a paperback? I didn't know that.
Paperback is $27. Hardcover.
It's hardcore.
You got to read it with a Red Bull, man.
Yeah. And protection.
Yeah.
I always have protection, just in case.
38. Yeah.
So that's fine. I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, see, I'm glad I came to the show. I learned something.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. You seem to be quite the philosophical kind of a thinker, and I like that.
Well, I just it's from reading those book series. I just a page here and a page there. I don't know how it ends, but I can talk about it. That
creates randomness.
Mm-hmm. It's I'm interested in anything that's in front of me, just this, boom, but if you take it away, fine. It's like a dog. It's like a dog. There's somebody once said that, dogs have a great reality because they only see what's in front of them. They have no memory of, except, danger and pain, which is just a biological thing. But I mean, as far as adventures or riding in a car or remembering, they're always here now. And I think that here now, right now, is bullshit. I really do believe that the future is the only reality, because what we're doing now is going nowhere, man. I mean, you look around, or you check science, or you check the Weather Channel, or you check your bank statement, or you check your job, or your friends, or your car, or your tires, whatever. It's going to the toilet. We're not doing it right. There's 2 things. There's curiosity, and what's the other one? Free will. Curiosity and free will. That was another thing that one of the characters said, well, I have free will, it's nothing to brag about, I don't think free will is the end all. I think free will is kind of a mistake or over amplified, whatever you call it, and also free will and also curiosity. Here's the thing. Okay. We're human beings and there's the universe. Great. Here we are. And there it is. Okay. Now there's a little kid and he's in Malibu and he's going out in the backyard, and in the backyard is a pool. And the kid is only 4 years old and he can't swim, and he's going to fall into the pool maybe. And if he does, he's going to drown because his parents are in another room and they won't hear it. But somehow somebody thought of a baby gate. They put a baby gate around the pool. And now the parents can stay in there and the kid can go in the backyard and there's a baby gate around the pool. Well, we're here and there's no baby gate around the universe. And we have curiosity. And that little kid has curiosity and he sees the water. But there's a baby gate. Well, reality has no baby gate. And we have curiosity.
So we have to build a baby gate for reality.
There's no way you can build a baby. But nice try, Ben. Let's and that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to build a baby gate around the universe because that's what we do. We'll solve it and we'll think about it. And we'll push it as far as we can. That's what human beings do. It's bullshit, man. No other biological animal in this universe does what we do.
You know, well,
okay,
they say humans are problem solvers. Supposedly,
yes.
we're okay.
Exactly, and the one problem we can't solve is us, man. We're the problem.
Because we create the problem.
Fucking.
When we create the problem, we have to come up with a solution to it.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like I'm playing Sudoku.
Okay, everybody listen to Jeff. He's got a suggestion.
You know?
Solve the problem. Okay, here's the thing. What we're doing, we're trying to solve the problem. I'll tell you a way we're trying to solve the problem. Really, we are. We're getting to the moon. We sent 2 people to the moon. Okay, and now we're going to send 6 people. They're working on it now to Mars. They want to, put a colony on Mars. So that'll be 6 people. What we're working on, and the problem we're working on, Jeff, is to get enough power and spaceships to get 7 billion people off this planet and have first class. So how are you going to do that? Yeah, and meals for all the 7 billion people that are on this planet.
Yeah, I'm not down with space food.
No, ain't gonna happen.
Exactly. So I'm saying I don't think we can solve it because we're on the track to solving it with the spaceships and the moon and the Mars thing. But Jeff, we just admitted that ain't going to get us very far.
Well,
that's like 6 people. We got 7 billion people on this planet.
We can't afford the gas for that.
We can
exactly
if we reverse engineer the alien crafts that we found.
What? We found an alien craft?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
No. That's another, there's Larry, there's Jeff, and there's Leo.
Yeah.
I think even Ben came up with a thing. So, we're all on the same page. We're just like
we're all in different books, but we're on the same page.
Expression shooting fish in a barrel?
Yeah.
Well, we're shooting into the barrel and there's no fish in the water. there's just boom, boom, boom. The water's leaking out. The bullets put holes in the barrel.
Oh, great. Now all the fish are going to die.
Yeah, who would have thought of that?
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I mean, it's just, it's talk. The only thing I can bet on is ego sum ego. I mean, cogito ergo sum is bullshit. That's if I have anything to leave with, that's it. Cogito ergo sum is bullshit.
Larry said, "Let go of his ego."
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But we are
Armo and my IO.
We're getting close to time. So I do want to ask you a serious question that we didn't cover any of your acting tonight, but you've been, I know, great. There's so much more to to that guy. If there's one actor or actress out there that you haven't had the chance to work with, that you could work with, who would it be?
Well, just off the top of my head, the first thing, Lucille Ball. I mean, I don't. Who else? Yeah, I don't know many people's names. I'm bad on with names. There was two women, but I don't know their names. That I'd like to, not because they were funny and they're not as famous as Lucille Ball. I mean, she's a comedian and I'm a comic actor. But she just has a great sense of I don't know, like a worldview. I mean, the way she acts, she comes from a different place. That's why I just wonder about. And she produces a lot of movies herself now. If she's in a movie, if she stars in a movie, she'll produce it or have a part of it. But I guess who else? Imogene Coca. I don't know. they're just great, funny women. Are really cool. Do I know besides funny? Do I know any funny any women that I would want to act?
What about like Mary Tyler Moore or somebody like that?
Well, she's covered by Lucille Ball. I mean, Lucille Ball is better than her, I believe. I mean, both of them. They're fine. I have nothing against Mary Tyler Moore. I'd do it. I'm just trying to think of who else. That's a good question, though. But
I was curious because you've worked with a ton of people and a lot of big names. Yeah,
and I try to learn. I try to pick up at least one thing or a couple of things. I try to learn from them. I try to. I'm not good at talking to them. Just shooting the breeze. I can't. I'm not a good hangout guy.
I don't know. I think you did. I think you did fine tonight.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it's just the famous people that I've been around. I keep a little distance. I don't know how to. I'm still filled with awe. I'm still. So I keep a little distance. I try to mind my manners around them, but I watch very closely. How do they, like Clint Eastwood would just blow my mind, and Marlon Brando, which I watched a film of him acting and how he prepared and get into the scene. The preparation, Clint Eastwood, not so much for his acting, although he's a brilliant actor. I got to tell you that. He's not Clint Eastwood that you see on the screen. That's an actor. Clint Eastwood is just a very cool Homo sapien. He's just really cool. And he does have an incredible memory. It just blew my mind. And here's the thing that nobody knows about Clint Eastwood. Secret. Trivia. He knows every, what do you call them? Lear's limericks. He is a savant of Lear's limericks. Nobody knows that. But he used to eat. I was with him for 3 months on Escape from Alcatraz, a 3-month shoot on Alcatraz. So he was always eat with the prisoners, the actors who had no lines. They would just eat in one big thing. And he would come out and he'd have his meals with them. And he would sit at the table and they would ask him questions, like fans, hey, what did you do? And he would answer, that was his meal. He would answer questions to all these guys, the prisoners. But then somebody said, for some reason, he said a Lear's limerick. It applied to what was going on, blah, blah. He said, I have a Lear's limerick for that, blah, 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 blah. There was a guy from St. Ives, that. Okay, so after that, every day, somebody would give him a topic for a Lear's limerick. I think it was a topic. Somebody had said a topic. And he said, I have a Lear's limerick for that topic. And they would say the Lear's limerick. And then so every day they would just help him with it. I got one. You got a Lear's limerick for this, tomato or money or, goats and he would do it. And now I don't know whether he was improvising them or he actually memorized them. But in the 3 months that I was there eating lunch with him pretty much every day, he never was stumped. Ever.
Wow.
Ever.
That's impressive.
Yes, that
right.
was what I came away with from Clint Eastwood.
Wow.
Holy cow, the guy.
Right.
And then a couple of days later, or about a month later, he, talked to the chair at the Republican convention. Remember that? This is the 2022 or 2016. There's a Republican convention, and he wanted to speak at the convention. And all they brought out was, ladies and gentlemen, Clint Eastwood, and they put a chair and then they walked off the stage. And then Clint Eastwood came out, and on national television, everybody's, politics and all the, he, I think it was against Biden or Obama. Maybe he was talking, he was for the Republican, guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he pretended that Obama was sitting in the chair. So he talked only to the chair, but he was talking to the nation, had a microphone. But he was talking to the chair and he was dissing Obama in the chair. He was, saying, well, why did you do this? And why did you do that? But he didn't have his spiel down. He thought he could just free form, freewheel, improvise. And there was no flow, man. There was no flow. And he was, and it was like stuttering and he bombed. Clint Eastwood bombed, and everybody in the next day's papers said, hey man, you bombed. Don't do that. Why did you do that? You look like an idiot out there. And he did. But then, he's a savant of Lear's limericks, and he comes up with these great characters, most popular guy on the planet. So, people somewhere, everybody is just a Homo sapien. That's all. And, I look for that.
And there you have it.
There you have it.
We're all just Homo sapiens in the universe.
And I just try to mention Homo sapiens more than human beings or people.
Right.
We got to get into that. We're not thinking like species. That's very dangerous, man. Every other species has got it down now. Lions, tigers, elephants, bugs. They got it down, and then they have their territories, and they just do their thing. And it's all settled. They have no, I'm in your territory. I got it. I'm sorry. Okay. You got it. Okay. But we don't. We don't think like species. We think like people.
That's one of the problems with intelligence.
Exactly. Good for Jeff. Gold star on the refrigerator. Yeah.
I got one last question for you, Larry.
Yeah, go for it.
You a cat guy or a dog guy?
Cat guy or dog guy? Well, I don't know. Both are good. I thought about getting one of each. Equal time.
Okay.
They're both species. I can't make they both can live. Both can live.
I don't know. There's something magical about puppy breath.
I was gonna say, or if you're a Friends lover, if you're a Friends lover, he's gonna get a monkey.
Okay. Well,
I had to bring it up. I'm sorry.
No, I have the monkey. Oh, the monkey.
The monkey.
All I know about monkeys is I don't think they like a bellhop's cap and a tutu. I just don't think monkeys can relate to those two things. I think if you took the bellhop's cap off and the tutu, I think the director would like directing a monkey much better. I think he would listen.
Well,
I was on the set, and that director, Peter Bonners, who's a friend of mine, would chase that monkey all over the set, trying him to do what he wanted him to do. And the monkey just would have none of it. And he was giving me some direction, and I'm arguing with him because he's my friend, and I'm not talking to a director. I'm talking to my friend. So I'm just talking to, hey man, no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. Come on, Peter. I don't talk that way to a director. You're right. Okay. So I'm talking, no. And then all of a sudden I see one of the ADs chasing the monkey around, because we're trying to set up a shot. And so Peter says, I can't talk to you now. I got to deal with the monkey. And he left.
Sounds like us, Jeff, right? We got to deal with the monkey.
But that's the greatest thing a director could ever say to an actor. No, I can't deal with you now. I got to deal with the monkey. And then you just... Well, say that to Clint Eastwood. Clint, I can't deal with you now. I got to deal with the ape.
Turn, Clyde.
Yeah.
Right turn, Clyde. Leo, any last questions?
Well, the one I normally ask is, what do you dork out about? You love writing, but is there
Homo sapiens and the fact that we don't, I'm dorking out because I watch Nova a lot, and I'm dorking out on Homo sapiens that human beings don't think as themselves as a species. So wherever I can bring it up, I do. So that's one thing I dork about. And riding my bike, is another thing I really love. That's really great. So those two things.
Oh, does it move or is it like a stationary bike?
No, outside. No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
That's fake. That's ridiculous. No, it's not fake. It's just cool. But if you take one of those bikes, called a stationary bike, what I'd like to see is to take a stationary bike and put it, in a bike lane on the road and just get on it.
Now that would be funny.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah.
Well, it's a bike lane.
That I'm going to do.
Had to move.
Before I die, that's one of my bucket list. I got a bucket list. That's going on it.
That would be hysterical, actually.
Right. It'll be national.
Driving in a car and going, what the fuck was that? Oh, did you
Hey, wait. Isn't it that guy on a stationary bike? What's he doing?
Where can I buy your book? Amazon.
On that note, Leo.
Yeah, we'll wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. You know me, you know how to find me. Just head on over to thedorkening.com. You can find all the shows there. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. Head on over to thedorkening.com. And Larry, where do you like people interacting with you on social media?
You can't. There's just too many. I can't do it. It's crazy. I don't have a secretary. I'm not in show business. I work in show business, but I'm not in show business. Where can I, the best thing, is, because I don't even use Facebook anymore, but I mean, you
buy
can
his book and leave a review. Then
how about your website? Review. You have a website now, don't you?
Well, okay, there's two. One is, thereallarryhankin.com. I have my paintings. These are my paintings. So all my paintings, about 40 or 50 of them on there. And some videos stuff that I produced and all my stuff. And there's a message board there, but I don't ever answer it. I don't. And then there's the Patreon. I have a Patreon station called Patreon/Larry Hankin, or Patreon.Larry Hankin, or Patreon.com Larry Hankin. I don't go there either. I'm not in show business. I like doing podcasts because I'm in my home. Podcasts are great, man. I love podcasts. So that's it. That's how you can get in touch with me. Yeah.
You don't.
There we go.
I don't have anybody to do that stuff, man. Look at my apartment. I'm doing too many things. It's hard. It's hard. Life is hard. Life is really hard.
Jeffrey.
Larry, you're a trip, man. Wow. I wish I did the first show when we had you on a couple of years ago, because I would have been more prepared.
I would have been okay.
But I want to thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
Oh, thank you, Jeff.
Agree to disagree, whatever it is. You know what I mean? I love you for life.
Oh yeah, no. By the way, that word, that was a joke. I revere you, Jeff. Okay. Enough said.
So
okay.
As far as us goes, just go to stilltoken.com. We will answer our emails and messages.
Okay.
You can go to the Facebook page, Token with the Dead.
Get my book. That's it. Get my book. That's how you can contact me.
Yeah, that's what I said. Get the book, and then you can leave a review.
Yes, and then
that you can read now that you know where to find them.
Cool. I'll answer you if you buy the book. I'll answer you. Well, people send me the book to autograph, and I send it back. I do that. Oh, they no, okay. I can't give you the address. They find it. I don't know where they got my address. I get these books that people send me. Would you please sign this and send it back? And they send me a self-addressed envelope and everything with enough postage, and I send it back. So, but I don't know how they get my address. I don't know my address.
Have you ever sent any back? Asking you if you'd sign the book, please, and send it back. You just leave a note, no, and send it back.
No, Larry Hankin. No, so they know who signed it.
The note.
I will not sign this, Larry Hankin. Said that.
Where did you get my address?
Yeah, right. Because I'd like to go home. Hey.
Oh, like Jeff said, you can check us out at stilltoking.com every Wednesday here on the Dorkening Podcast Network with our show Still Toking With. Kicking season 5, wow. Season 5. I'm getting fucking old. Yeah. Somebody send me my address. I want to go home too.
Yeah, right.
But no, I want to thank Larry for coming out and hanging out with us. It was a pleasure as always. Check out the show notes. That's where you can find out about his book. You might even find his address in there. I doubt it though.
I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know where they get it. It's really weird. I don't know. But in this day and age, I mean, your information is out there. I don't argue about it too much. It's
right.
If they want it, they'll get it.
That's true. And for a certain price.
Yeah, exactly. So
I might know somebody that has it. I'm just saying.
How do I get in touch with you?
To all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Peace.